This is me on the red carpet of the Mr. Student Body President Season 2 premiere. It's a show on Verizon's Go 90 about a student government at a high school that takes their jobs way too seriously and act like a real government. And right now it's live on the Go 90 app, so you can watch it for free, so you know, do that. On the show, I play the school dirtbag Derek Grody, where I basically just get to be obnoxious and silly and try to make people laugh. So, how did we get here? Let me take you on a journey back to the world of 2009. You may remember this lost era of history as the time where iPhones were still kind of an exclusive thing to have. Facebook hadn't made its comeback yet, and One Direction wasn't even a glimmer in Simon Cowell's eye. It was one of the last time, collectively as millennials, where we did not have the ability to document every single thing that we saw. These were strange liminal times at the true end of the analog age, right before the beginning of the digital age, where you needed a cell phone to do just about anything. I've showed you 13-year-old me before, but in case you've forgotten, for future reference, we will be referring to me and children like me using the acronym FARTS. FARTS, of course standing for fume-filled, awkward, rascal teen show-offs, are smelly adolescents who act out because they're not sure how to deal with the awkwardness of being 13 and smelly. Full disclosure, this stage of my life lasts for a while, but it ends. Eventually. I do grow out of it. Being a fart meant that I tended to isolate myself from anything that would have been considered cool. So I didn't really get to hang out with the cool kids, or go to the cool parties, or hang out at the cool kids table, or do really anything that was social. Because of my fart nature. So what do you do when you're a fart in the year 2009? Well, you do two things, of course. Watch lots of movies and make a YouTube channel. So, in 2009, intro Sam Katz. My best friend since basically ever. When we were kids, we played lots of pretend games, so why not film them? Intro Mutant Boyfriend Productions.
It's such a beautiful day.
We love Derek Comedy and Balloon Shop, so why not make sketches just like them? We make sketches. They're all right. We spend our weekends watching movies and then trying to emulate them. Our sketches get better. We scour indie film blogs and become obsessed with quality. The sketches are great. Now I'm bored. Want to make a short film? Great, that was alright. Let's make 4 more. Wow, those are really good. You want to make a movie? A full-length one? Yeah, holy shit, we actually just made a movie. Alright, let's keep this thing going. When suddenly, a new challenger approaches. Intro the year 2014. Jonah's dropping out of college and has to move out of his parents' house, and Sam wants to stay in college and get his master's. Hey, you want to high-five and make stuff whenever we see each other? Alright, deal. So what does one do when they've got no money, no college degree, and 4 years of indie film experience? I wonder what LA's like this time of year. Intro John Duckworth, the greatest human I've met ever. I needed to move to LA, and this guy had a room open, and he basically told me that he would help me out figuring out how to pay for it until I got on my feet. And he did that for an entire year. Are you serious, dude? Yeah, I mean, why not? I will probably never meet a better human. And you know what? I was right. Okay, I guess I live in LA now. I need a manager. You remember SDK? The greatest collab channel on YouTube? We have a group manager. Have you guys ever heard of a guy called Byron Ashley? If you haven't, you will. This guy runs on coffee, Diet Coke, and closing deals. He's the man. We're also best friends, even though he doesn't want to admit it, but we're best friends. Hey Byron, I write stuff. Can you send it out to people? Are you willing to act? I mean, I guess I'm willing to do both. Alright, great, let's do both. Yeah? Alright, cool. And just like that, he'd found me company at Awesomeness TV, where they were letting me write sketches and act in them. After about 1.5 years of that, I went on to audition for a little show you may have heard of from the beginning of this video, called Mr. Student Body President. And after a few callbacks, the first gig that I ever booked was season 1 of Student Body President, on a real Hollywood set where I was acting alongside, like, real actors, which was crazy. So 3 years into living in LA, I had effectively tricked Hollywood into letting me play pretend for money. And nobody had figured me out yet, even though I only had, 1 year of college under my belt. So all of that added up to me being able to act in season 2 and more of Mr. Student Body President, the greatest show ever made. Ever. And this all started with an obsession with playing pretend and loving movies. The coolest thing is that I'm actually not really special at all. I've just made myself aware of things that I think are really cool, and then I followed them, even when my decision wasn't super popular among anybody. Everyone always talks about how motivated you are equaling how successful you are. But something I always think about is that if your obsession is something that you really think is great, how motivated do you really need to be to do that thing if you already like it? If you like it, it's just having fun at that point, right? Like, you don't need to motivate a kid to go and play, they just play. So with that logic, you don't need to motivate Jonah to go play either. And that is how I tricked Hollywood into letting me act. Hope you enjoyed.